Did you know pro cyclist Major Taylor was the world's first black superstar athlete? Taylor is often regarded as the LeBron James at turn-of-the-century America.
One of two exhibits in Indianapolis you'll want to mark down on your must-see list. Dinosaurs and Major Taylor, the Hoosier once known as the fastest cyclist in the world. Both are being showcased at two of Indiana's premier cultural destinations, the Children's Museum of Indianapolis and the Indiana State Museum. And we begin with Major Taylor. Every day, literally thousands of drivers along Interstate 65 on Indianapolis's northwest side pass the Major Taylor Velodrome without really having any idea of the man behind the name. A new exhibit at the Indiana State Museum hopes to change that. Bill Benner has more in this week's Inside Indiana Sports. Bill.
Gary, thanks. And the man the exhibit celebrates is the turn of the century. No, not this turn of the century, but the last one, cyclist from Indianapolis who overcame racism and multiple other obstacles to become the world's fastest man on two wheels. And joining us today to talk more about the exhibit is Kisha Tandy, the State Museum's Curator of Social History. And Kisha, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Tell us, first of all, about Major Taylor. For those who don't know, this was a man, a pioneer, well before his time.
Major Taylor, born Marshall Taylor, was born in Indianapolis, November 26, 1878, and he would become a champion cyclist. He would grow up here in Indianapolis. His parents were Gilbert and Sophronia Taylor. His father was a veteran of the United States Civil War, and Taylor would have his first bike as a young person. He would begin as a trick rider, and so he could do tricks, and that caught the attention of a well-known bicycle store here in Indianapolis, Hay and Willits, and he would work there. And then from there, he would work at another store and then catch the attention of a former cyclist by the name of Louis Birdie Munger. And Munger would become a mentor to Taylor. And in fact, when Taylor moved to Worcester, Massachusetts in 1895, he would go with Birdie Munger. He would be a champion cyclist, turning professional in 1896. And by 1898, he would have 7 world records. He was indeed the fastest man on two wheels. By 1900, he was an American sprint champion, and he would go overseas beginning in 1901. So he would become an international superstar, becoming the first black person, the first black athlete to win a major championship, winning the World 1 Mile in Canada in 1899.
Kisha, tell us about this exhibit that's taking place at the Indiana State Museum from now until October, and includes an actual Peugeot bicycle on loan from the U.S. Cycling Hall of Fame. I mean, that's what an artifact that is.
Yes. So the exhibit allows visitors to learn about the life of Major Taylor here in Indianapolis, and then also as he traveled around the world. We talk about the many obstacles that he faced and then overcame. We talk about what Taylor described as that dreadful monster prejudice that he had to deal with consistently throughout his racing career. We look at some of the people who were his nemesis, people who would try to hinder him as he was racing cyclists by the name of Floyd McFarland. We talk about the good and the bad. And Taylor kept records of his cycling career. And so we use his scrapbooks to help tell that story. And you can see one of the scrapbooks in the exhibit. We look at him going overseas and the many places where he traveled, but then there are also many interactives where individuals can race against Major Taylor, learn how to fix a flat tire, and those various things. And one of the major artifacts in this exhibit that is on loan to us from the United States Bicycle Hall of Fame in Davis, California, is a bicycle that Major Taylor rode. It is the only bicycle that we know that Major Taylor rode that is still in existence. And it is a great piece. And we include it in an area that highlights just the champion that he was. And so there's 2 trophies there, both from 1901 that he won as he was racing in Europe.
Well, Kisha, we certainly appreciate you coming on the program, telling us about this marvelous exhibit that really identifies a native Hoosier who went on to do remarkable things, have a remarkable life. Thanks for being on the program.
Thank you so much.